right? We all do. The one who's already at the coffee shop, on their second espresso before you've even found a parking spot. Or that friend who texts, "I'm here," a full 15 minutes before you're even supposed to meet up. Well, today, we're going to unpack the fascinating psychology behind the person who is always, always early. So let's just get right to it. Is this you? Come on, be honest. Are you the one who's always sitting in your car, kind of awkwardly waiting for the clock to hit the exact meeting time? If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you're definitely in the right place. And hey, if you just know this person, you're about to understand them on a completely different level. Because here's the thing, what looks like this amazing, admirable discipline from the outside, what we see as just extreme organization, is often something way, way deeper. It's usually a powerful, subconscious strategy for managing anxiety. It's not really about the clock at all. It's about coping.
And it all boils down to this key idea called time anxiety. Now, this isn't just a casual, "oh, I hope I'm not late" kind of worry. Nope. This is a genuine sense of panic, of real stress that gets tied to time itself. The fear of being late or of a deadline getting closer. It can feel totally overwhelming. And being chronically early is one of the most effective ways people fight that feeling, even if they don't realize it.
So the first major driver behind this is this deep, deep need for control. It's like building a little fortress against all the chaos in the world. It's a powerful search for control in situations that, let's face it, often feel like they have none.
I mean, think about it. Life is just messy. You've got traffic jams out of nowhere, trains that are late, that unexpected phone call right as you're leaving. All that stuff is completely out of our hands. Arriving early creates this crucial buffer zone. It's like a self-made shield that takes all that potential chaos and makes it manageable, predictable. It's a way of saying, okay, I can't control the traffic, but you know what I can control? My arrival time.
And this really captures the feeling perfectly. It's about ownership. When you're the first one there, you get to settle in. You get to ground yourself. It gives you this moment of quiet relief, like hitting a mental reset button before any of the social pressure or work stuff even kicks in. And this brings us to the second part of the puzzle, your brain's own wiring. See, our brains are basically prediction machines. They're constantly looking at our past experiences to try and guess what's going to happen next. So if you've ever been stuck in a horrible traffic jam that made you super late for something important, your brain doesn't just forget that. It logs it as a threat. And the next time, it's going to push you to leave even earlier to avoid feeling that stress again. You're not just planning for this trip, your brain is planning for every bad trip you've ever had. Which brings us right to our next point, the emotional heart of this whole thing. Because beyond just control, being early is often a defense mechanism against a pretty profound fear of failure. For the person who is always early, being late isn't some simple mistake. It can feel like a deep personal failure. It taps right into those fears of being judged as unreliable or disrespectful or maybe even replaceable. If you grew up feeling like you had to be perfect just to earn your place, well then, being on time isn't just a courtesy. It's a core part of proving your worth. Being early just completely removes the chance for that one specific criticism. And you know, there's a real physical side to this, a kind of hidden stress. Just the idea of having to rush, running for a train or weaving through traffic. That creates actual low-level tension in your nervous system. For people with time anxiety, that is incredibly draining. So arriving early isn't just a mental game, it's a physical one. It lets the nervous system completely sidestep that stress and hit a reset button before you even walk in the door. And all this leads us to our final and maybe the most profound insight here. For the always early person, it's not just about the outcome, getting to the meeting. It's about the process, how you get there. This is a really key shift in mindset. For most people, the goal is simple, get to the place. But for the person who is always early, the real goal is the way they arrive. Arriving calm, collected, and totally in control, that is the achievement. The meeting itself is almost secondary to the successful, stress-free execution of the journey. So why is that process so important? Well, because every single time they arrive early, they are reinforcing a core part of their identity. They're telling themselves, see, I am a responsible, reliable, organized person. It's not just a habit. It's an act of identity maintenance. It helps them feel grounded and secure in who they are. So as we start to wrap this up, what have we really learned? We've seen that this simple habit of being early is actually this complex, fascinating mix of psychological needs and learned behaviors. It's really a window into what our internal clock is telling us about ourselves. So let's just recap the 5 big drivers we've uncovered. First, there's that deep need for control in a world that feels pretty chaotic. Second, it's driven by the brain's predictive wiring, which learns from past stress to overprepare for what's next. Third, it works as a shield against a very real fear of judgment. Fourth, it's a smart strategy for avoiding the physical stress that comes from rushing. And finally, it's a powerful way to reinforce one's personal identity. And that leaves us with one last question to think about. Whether you're always early, perfectly on time, or, chronically late, your relationship with the clock is saying something pretty profound about how your mind learned to handle the world. So what do you think yours is revealing about you?